Hello everybody, Bad Weather Freak here. I got another video for you, a quick update on 2021 hurricane season. So we have three stories or three storms that we got to talk about, very brief. One of them is Hurricane Grace. As you guys know, Hurricane Grace, its trajectory changed quite a bit. It was the earlier tracks days ago, it said it was coming to Florida. It never did. It kept moving west and west and west and west, and lo and behold, it never started curving north. So right now, yesterday made landfall as a hurricane in the Yucatan Peninsula, as a Category 1 hurricane. It weakened slightly to a tropical storm, re-emerged in the Gulf of Mexico, in the south part of the Gulf of Mexico, and then re-strengthened it again to a hurricane. And right now, as the 8 p.m. update, it became a Category 2 hurricane. So right now, if you are in the path of grace in Mexico, and you're watching this, be careful. At this point, you should be finishing up your preparations regarding the potential landfall in your area of a tropical or Category 2 hurricane. I'm sorry, Category 2 hurricane. Now, there's a chance that it could continue to intensify. Right now, a consensus says that it is going to continue to intensify until it makes landfall. So I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's running out of time, so I don't think this is going to make it to a Category 3, but it potentially can make it or be a strong Category 2 hurricane. Right now, it's barely Category 2 hurricane, but it still has time to continue to intensify. Now, that is Hurricane Grace. Also, we're watching soon-to-be Hurricane Henri. It's a borderline right now. It's a 70-mile-per-hour winds, and it needs 74 to become a hurricane. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if by the 11 p.m. update, it is considered a hurricane, or it is upgraded to a hurricane. Now, the interesting thing about soon-to-be Hurricane Henri is the fact of the unusual track that it has taken. Again, when storms are around Bermuda, they move northeast, so they move away from land, not towards the United States. So right now, we have Henri with a track of just north or even northwest. So what is going to end up happening is it is expected to make landfall around the Connecticut area or Boston area as a Category 1 hurricane. It still has a lot of time. One thing for you guys to keep in mind is the location where Henri is. There is a lot of warm water, plenty warm water that is coming from the Gulf Stream. See, these are currents, super warm temperature or super warm waters that come from the Gulf of Mexico, and it makes it all the way up through the Atlantic Ocean into those the eastern seaboard, all the way up. Even though it's no longer the Gulf of Mexico, the water kind of goes all the way up, and those are currents. So because the temperature on these waters, that's why these storms, they get fairly close to the coast and they intensify, and that's what is expected to happen to Henri. Now, the other issue that I see with Henri is, yes, it's going to be a decent hurricane that is going to make landfall, but the issue that I see is this area where Henri is going to make landfall has not seen a hurricane landfall in 30 years, exactly 30 years. The last hurricane was 1991, and it was Hurricane Bob. So exactly 30 years later, we got another hurricane making landfall. The issue is that potentially, or not potentially, but the majority of the people that they were involved, or they saw Bob and the impacts that Bob created in the area that it made landfall. A lot of these people, if they were adults, especially middle age, these people are no longer here. They're dead. And what ended up happening is a lot of the people do not remember what happened, or do not know what happened during Hurricane Bob. So they're not prepared or they're not going to be fully prepared for Henri, because they don't know how to prepare for something of this magnitude. And that's exactly what happened in Puerto Rico. See, Puerto Rico is obviously in the Caribbean, so yeah, they know about storms and hurricanes, but not significant storm impacts, because the last major hurricane that made landfall in Puerto Rico was roughly, I mean, like of the same magnitude as Maria in 2017. It was about 80 years ago. So again, goes back to the same time, or the same scenario, where these people that went through the storm 80 years ago, they're not alive anymore. So you got younger population, you got newer people that they don't have the experience to go through these intense hurricanes. That's what happened in Puerto Rico. Now, I'm not saying the same intensity is gonna happen with Henri, but you never know. I mean, we have potential of being a significant hurricane. Category 2. Who knows? I mean, at this point, it's looking like a category 1, but conditions are right and favorable, so Henri can continue to intensify. But that's something that, again, you guys need to be ready. If you're in the Connecticut, if you're in the Boston area, in the States, and you are directly in the path of Henri, it is time to again prepare your surroundings, prepare your property. These areas are known for having huge trees because they don't usually get hurricanes through the area. So trimming your trees, making sure none of them are near your house, picking up things that can become projectiles and break your home or break a window. So all those things, pick up lawn furniture, all those things that can become projectiles are very dangerous. Now let's talk about also the flooding event. See, sometimes you don't have to be. It's not everything is about wind. It's about water also. It's a known fact that the majority of storms, the death in storms, are created by flooding, not necessarily wind. So don't get fixated in this thing where, if it's not a category 1, I'm not gonna prepare. No, that's not how it works. Big tree can fall on your home. I've seen it. Two things I can tell you, my years of experience going through hurricanes and also tracking storms: flooding and trees, falling trees on people's homes. Those are the biggest issues with deaths, or biggest causing deaths. So that's something that you need to be prepared. But and the third thing, I almost forgot. The third area that we're watching is in the coast, near the coast of Africa. We have another storm that is emerged from the coast of Africa. It is not going to be it's not going to be impact any land. So at this point, I wouldn't even worry about it. But right now, Grace, if you're located in Mexico, be ready. And Henri is going to be also a hurricane soon, so get ready also. But anyways, that's all I have for you tonight, this evening. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you subscribing and sharing this video with families and friends. Other than that, you guys have a safe day, safe night. Thank you, and have a good day.